she's doing so much work right now around the moon, right? I just gotta hold it up because she had a
I
full moon
appreciate you.
circle at Violet and Bloom that was amazing. And also on Monday nights at 8 p.m. On Monday, she does a moon day, and it's like a journaling affirmation. It's via Microsoft Teams.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
just seeing her coming out of her shell, even more stepping into her power. At the last Sister Circle was so powerful, the full moon circle, because her mom was there.
Yes.
So I mean, and I told her at the age she's at, I started the Crystal Drawing brand, to be in community. So I'm like, look, you go so far, like go very much far, and we're here to support. So just make sure y'all tap in with her on her Instagram, especially around the journaling, the self love. She's like a little plant that's just really blooming, blossoming. And I want her to feel supported. So thank you for coming in. Talk about yourself, your introduction.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. So, like Queen Xola said, I'm Maya Kiana Graham, and my business is called Live and Love Boutique. It's something that I've been doing since 2019, and it's transformed from a t-shirt brand to a self-love brand where I focus on journaling and helping melanated women come back in tune with self. So the same work that Sacred Women is doing, which is why it's so aligned how I got to connect with Sacred Women and become a part of this community, because the work essentially is the same. So I've been working to codify my experience and my knowledge into something that is easily replicatable, something that I can easily expand, if that makes sense. And that has become the self-love framework that I call love-led leadership. So love-led leadership is built on the love-led alignment method, which we'll go into today as we talk about what self-love is and why it's so important, which I know y'all know, but we're just going to take a deep dive into it. So the love-led leadership is practicing how to lead yourself from a space of alignment rather than survival. So all of the work that we are doing as Sacred Women, this is how we practice that on a daily basis. Before we can guide ourselves, we have to learn how to guide our nervous system. This includes our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. And this method helps us to do so with awareness, integrity, compassion, and responsibility. Because whether we like it or not, as melanated women, we are leaders. So what exactly is self-love? Self-love can be misconstrued as avoidance, where we just don't pay attention to anything that ruffles our feathers, and we surround ourselves with yes people. And honestly, that's just limiting your ability to grow because you're not allowing yourself to be challenged. And on the other end of that spectrum is self-absorption, where the media likes to focus on the bubble baths and the manis and petties and adorning the external while neglecting the internal. And as we know, self-love is truly about internal governance. I like to call this being guided by the goddess within. And it is leadership, allowing yourself to tap into and honor the responsibility that comes with being a melanated woman. So the love-led alignment method is a way to systemize self-love for everyday practice. And this method is based on 5 essential stages. The first one being to arrive. This is where you feel and become present in your body. And that leads us to reveal. This is where we allow our bodies to speak to us, telling us what we need in this moment. And that leads us to release, utilizing the breath, intentional movement, and sound to release any stored energy. And the fourth step is realign. Realigning is when you reconnect with your truth, your values, and your intentions. And I like to do this through the chakra system. And lastly, radiate, returning back to the present moment, radiating clarity and aligned action. Why is self-love important? So as I mentioned earlier, being a melanated woman, we are natural born leaders. We are mothers, we are nurturers. And you can't successfully lead anything if you can't lead your nervous system. So the problem that we are actually solving here is that many of us were never taught how to lead ourselves. We were just taught how to cope, essentially, how to survive harmful environments, how to please others, how to present. We were never taught how to manage our emotions and how to regulate our nervous systems, how to listen to that inner voice and to really tend to our needs and set boundaries. Can't forget the boundaries. So a lot of times adults are walking around and we are allowing our thoughts to lead us, letting our emotions overwhelm us, and our environment control us. You can think of a time where you felt completely out of control in your own body. And it happens to all of us. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's definitely something to work on. And I'm honored to be doing the work here with you ladies today. So this method is built on four core practices. The first one being journaling, which I like to call having a conversation with yourself. Journaling allows you to create that mental clarity by getting the thoughts out of your mind onto paper. And this helps you to externalize the noise and make better decisions, essentially. The second core practice is intentional movement. And this can look like yoga, doing some exercise when you feel you need it. This can be hitting the dance floor with your girls, or this can be dancing in the mirror by yourself. All of this is helping to release stored up stress and helping you regulate your body by tapping into what you need in that moment and actually taking action on releasing that internal stress or emotional imbalance. The third pillar of this practice is breath work. And this is where you focus on utilizing our life source, the life force that's all around us, in an intentional manner to regulate your nervous system. And over time, this builds the capacity for response over reaction. And finally, meditation and sound healing. Meditation allows you to strengthen your awareness by pulling your attention inward, which is where the real guiding comes from. This helps you to reveal thought patterns that you've been subconsciously running on and helps you to cultivate an identity of clarity. And then sound healing. Sound healing uses the vibrations of sound to permeate the body, helping you to release any stored up emotional energy and connecting your mind, body, and spirit. So the aim of all of this work is not perfection, it's internal governance. Again, being guided by the goddess within. And this is the ability to pause before you react, the ability to choose aligned action, and the ability to self-correct without shame or judgment. A lot of times we get put into boxes by onlookers when we practice self-love as if we should be perfect, we should be kind all the time, we should have it all put together. And I think it's a key distinction to make, that self-love, a big part of self-love is the ability to correct yourself, to notice when something needs change or something needs fixing, and to do so without judgment or shame. And this plays a big role in how you parent, how you connect with other sisters and community. So I want to invite you all to join the Love-Led community. If you feel called, you can scan this QR code. And this is how you can stay connected with the moon circles that I hold every month. The Moon Day Night Self-Love Sessions, which are a free weekly virtual gathering. And you can also book an in-home self-love session with me. And together, this is where we learn to lead ourselves with love. So now if you allow me to guide you in a mini self-love session as we run through this progression, as we walk through this progression. The first step being to arrive. So you can feel comfortable grounding your feet flat against the floor, straightening your spine. Allowing your chair to support you. Feeling supported by the ground beneath you, by the back of your chair and the seat of your chair. You're going to use the breath to arrive inside your body, taking some deep inhales, allowing the air to expand your body fully with the inhale, and to take detoxing exhales, releasing all that no longer serves you. Let's practice 3 deep breaths in this moment. Breathing in deeply, filling the belly with oxygen, and releasing. Intentionally pushing out any tension. As you get comfortable in your body, you may feel called to rotate your shoulders, tilt your neck from side to side. And this is where you allow your body to reveal what it needs in a moment. Noticing where you feel any tension. Using this time to just notice, not to fix. You can scan your body from head to toe. How does your head space feel? Is it calm? Is it chaotic? Do you store tension in your neck and shoulders like a lot of us women do? Carrying the weight of so many things. Still taking intentional breaths. How does your heart space feel? Is it heavy? Is it light? Notice what you feel in your gut. Scanning lower to your womb. Allowing her to speak to you. What do you feel in your lower back? Feel the weight in your thighs being supported by the seat of your chair. Notice any tension in your knees. Scanning your calves, your ankles, and finally your feet. Notice what comes up spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Let's take 3 more intentional breaths here before we go to the next phase. Breathing in deeply. Don't be afraid to let your healing be audible. Because for so long we suffer in silence, and this is a space where we don't need to. Now we're going to use this breath to release any built-up tension in the body. I want you to mentally direct this energy to anywhere you feel tension. We're going to do 6 counted breaths. I'll keep count as we breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and release for 6. You can begin. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, allowing the energy to reach every part of your body. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last breath, make it really count. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allowing your breath to return to its natural flow. Tapping in, noticing how you feel in this moment. Now I want you to direct your attention to your root chakra at the base of your spine and visualize a ball of red light here, pulsing with each inhale and exhale. Reminding yourself that you are safe, you are secure, you are protected. Visualize this red light spiraling upward and turning orange as it meets your sacral chakra, right below your belly button. Our sacred seat of creation. And as you breathe here, give gratitude to your womb. For all she has birthed, for all she has endured, visualize this orange light spiraling upward and turning yellow as it meets your solar plexus chakra, at or above your belly button. As you breathe here, give gratitude for everything that you've created and feel the joy and excitement for everything that you will create. Witness this yellow light spiraling upward and turning green as it meets your heart chakra. Breathing in love here and releasing all fear, all anxiety, any resentment, anything that feels heavy. Witness this green light spiraling upward and turning blue as it meets your throat chakra. Giving gratitude to our ability to condense spirit into audible sound. Feeling the weight of the power of your words. Visualize this blue light spiraling upward and turning indigo as it meets your third eye chakra right between your eyebrows. Breathe into this space. Witness all your goals, your dreams, and your visions. And know that as long as you are here, they are here with infinite potential. Visualize this indigo light spiraling upward, exiting through the top of your crown, creating a purple ball of light right above your head. Breathe into the connection to the Most High. Visualizing your divine higher self. Feel free to grasp this ball of purple light and feel the energy between your palms. Noticing how this energy connects your physical body here to the divine source outside of us. And when you feel complete, use your hands to move this purple ball of light back down, encompassing your torso, slowly covering yourself in this purple light of your divine higher self. Feeling this energy slowly covering your body. And use your palms to press this purple ball of light back into your sacral and root chakra. Breathing deeply, acknowledging, giving gratitude, and honoring the divine source energy that lies within you. The magic that comes with being a woman. A woman. As we bring this practice to a close, giving gratitude to yourself for showing up today and for completing this practice. And when you feel called, come back to the present moment and open your eyes. I want to thank you, ladies, for allowing me to guide you in this practice. I want to close this session out by having you reflect on some journaling prompts. But before we go into this, I want to open the floor for anybody to share how was this experience for you, and how are you feeling now in your body?
I don't know. I felt good. At first, it was kind of hard for me to do it because I felt like it was just so much that I felt like I was holding on to that I didn't even want to like deal with it or like face it. So it was kind of hard for me to like go into my body at first. But I think I felt like later on, and I felt like it was because it was like a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. But as I go into the meditation, especially while we were doing the breathing exercises and stuff like that, I felt like I was able to make peace with everything that, you know, I was carrying on with, and being able to like let that go through my breaths was a way for me to like, you know, to not be so hard on myself. I know one of the things I struggle with is just giving myself grace and compassion, and just overall just being more kinder to myself. So through your exercise, my meditation, it really helped me just give myself the space I needed to like pause, reflect, and just realize like it's okay, it's fine, like, you know. So
Ashe.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
I'm holding back tears of joy right now.
I gotta go. Well, I ended up nodding off, but it just felt very calming because I guess I had so much going on in different parts of my body, so it helped me identify how really tired I am. And I tried to keep going and going and going, but just having a moment to just sit and just think and release and be okay with just going slow. It felt good, and I guess my body was just like, yes, I'm at peace. So that's why I was able to just try and just rest.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. A lot of times, I know I practiced this with my mom yesterday, and she was just saying like how the calming effect that it has, and I don't want people to feel bad if you do fall asleep because that's what your body needs in this moment. So, thank you. Denny, yeah.
I second that with the importance of taking time to just check in. And a lot of times we just want to go and we're doing and we don't check in with ourselves and how we're feeling. And you know, I think how you tie it into self-love. If we love ourselves, we need to check in and see what we need. And sometimes it may be peace and sometimes it may not. It might be uneasiness, it might be discomfort, and even just being able to acknowledge that all those things are part of who we are, and it's okay to not always feel the best. But being able to take the time and notice when you're feeling that and care for that and lean into that. But first we gotta stop and pause and notice it.
Yes. Thank you.
For that.
Yes, you're welcome. That's Mama Lita. Mama Tia.
I think that love is really complicated. It can be complicated because of how we've been raised to think. You know, it's such an outward kind of thing. You know, like you have to love somebody loves you. This reciprocal process that is not really real. It's not really real. And so it makes it a little harder for us to kind of start with ourselves. You know, just if you love yourself, then love, you know, you'll attract that outside love. But the first main thing to do is just to love on yourself. And it's difficult because we haven't practiced that throughout our lives. And so we come up, you know, as young adults and adults, you know, we're always looking out and distractions and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And so this really gave you a space where it was no distractions. It was, you could just let your thoughts kind of wander. They didn't have to, no judgment, you know, just, okay, that thought came, it came and it went, and you know, and something else came again, and I could feel stuff in my body just releasing, you know, really just releasing, just with being able to accept that powerful feeling of love. You know, because it's really an overwhelming, powerful feeling that we're not used to.
Mhm.
And so we have to, when you do workshops like this, when you do little things like this, gradually, it's like, okay, now I'm kind of settling into this. You know, so it's really important work.
Thank you for sharing that, Mama Tia. It's always an honor to hold space for melanated women and the wisdom of the elders, because I know y'all hold like so, being a melanated woman, being raised by a melanated woman and coming from that family tree, it's like so many responsibilities, so many projections, so much to deal with. So it's always an honor to hold space for y'all. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what is the feeling and expression of love. I was raised by my paternal grandma, and she didn't hug or anything like that. My grandfather did. And I didn't really notice that it affected me until I realized that I'd be trying to buy love. Instead of, embracing and emotionally feeling it, or do I have a wall up that I don't want to get hurt because my mother didn't raise me? I was, abandonment issue. So my thing is, what is love? What is the feeling?
I love that you asked that question. But honestly, I don't feel like it's something that I can answer for you. I think.
But just with
from my experience.
Right, because it's like everybody else here has, like she just said, it's a feeling of ease, release, yeah.
For me, I think love is being there for yourself, listening to yourself, and noticing when things come up that just don't sit right in your heart. It doesn't feel right. If you can, it's kind of like the same way I would envision loving a child, being there for them. So it's not always getting everything right, but it's noticing when something is wrong or when something is off, and being able to catch that and work with them in this case being yourself, your internal child, in different ways, be it journaling, breath work, or whether you need to go and shop and spoil yourself before you spoil somebody else. Just tuning into self and listening to what you need.
Yeah, and I think a part of it is, self-acceptance without judgment. Without judgment.
Right.
It's not, it's like a kind of a thing where I'm this kind of way, but I can work on that. I can work on this habit that I may not like so much about myself. But I'm not going to judge myself and say, oh, you're the worst person in the world. You just kind of, I'm able to do this and still have respect and acceptance and a feeling of satisfaction. Because I think love has to do with feeling happy, feeling sometimes feeling sad, but it's without judgment. I think the judgment is, a big part of it.
I think another big part too is choosing you too. It's like always choosing yourself first before anybody else. When it comes to like your needs and the things you need to for yourself, because it's so easy for us naturally, especially as women, we're taught that we have to care for everyone else, our husbands, our brothers, you know what I mean? So when you're able to choose you, what you need first, I feel like that's a huge part of what love can be for yourself too.
I was gonna say the things that make you feel good. It's not about what other people.
Right.
Like Pasha said, she couldn't answer that for you, because it's what feels good for her might not feel good for you.
Right.
And you gotta do the thing that feels good for yourself. And like you said, no judgment towards anyone else or yourself. You're doing the things that make you feel good and whole with yourself.
Yeah, and even in her statement, if you have a statement of saying yes to you, being saying no to me. And so you gotta, you have to kind of judge situations like that. If a person is pulling on you to do whatever you want, if it's saying no to you, then you have to say yes to you.
Yeah. Even you coming here is an act of love for yourself.
Right.
So love can be an action, but it's also an emotion. Like,
Right.
We talk
Right.
about the acts of love, but
Yeah.
also the feeling of love is something that's very pure. When you think about an infant that comes into this world, we have love for the infant. Everybody loves a baby,
Right.
and the babies don't do anything, right?
Right.
We are conditioned to feel like we have to do something
Do
to be worthy
something,
of
right.
love.
Right.
But when babies come into this world, it's pure. Well, that's what
They need those journals for the next part. That's your vending stuff.
Yeah,
that was
but
for the
the
day.
babies
Yeah,
come
make
in
sure you
pure.
invite them to
They
shop
do
for
nothing.
vending
What do they
stuff.
do? Nothing.
Yeah, just do your journals.
So to be able
Just do your
to
journals
not put
before
that
the
condition on
response. Like,
ourselves that
we
we have
have
to
to
do
take it
something or
in
be
and show
right.
it to response, but we can't write.
True.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
And I just wanted to say this because I wanted to add to the conversation. I got distracted. I know I got fast brain today. But what I'm learning, what I'm really teaching my children and my youngest kind of got it together, but I'm working on it with my oldest. Because I think the way that I grew up too was to focus on giving everybody else love. Like being this loving person, you know, else love. You get out in the world, you realize people take that for kindness, for weakness. People don't really, love the same, so they don't. So then you gotta learn how to pivot when your foundation has been being this loving person, right? So, what I've learned is the boundaries. Like having the boundaries. And it's so hard because you feel like your boundaries might disappoint somebody. Because my daughter goes to all the
Yeah, the
time.
boxes.
She's like,
It goes, all the boxes is under the table.
and
So you can put everything,
You put everything in the box and it's very good.
tell them it's time to go. Or she'll be like, Mom, your niece is over here. I'm like, well, what she's doing over here? She's like, I told your sister I babysit. So I'm like, why you say you was gonna babysit if you ain't gonna babysit? So I think the boundaries are just so important. That's just like little small examples. But even sometimes with us, like when it comes to love, because we want love so much, right? We'll be ready to drop our bags, change our lives, do this and do that. And then it's like, have that rooted love, that love with a boundary. That's why, as Crystal John, I told my Crystal's like, Rhodite is one of my favorite crystals because it's like a love crystal. It got some pink in it, but it's also a root crystal. So like being rooted in love is just a little bit different than just floating in it, So that's what I kind of wanted to add to that, but y'all did so good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that question.
Thank you. This is so. Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to say something. So, for whatever reason, when I do group meditations, I feel that everybody around me too. So, what she's saying about being rooted in love, sometimes you have to be open to being able to receive it from others as well. Because I literally felt a moment when everybody kind of hit a certain space, and I was like, okay, it ain't me. That's what's going on around me. And recognizing that it's not me, and being present with myself, but still accepting what's going on around me too.
There's a African principle too.
Right.
I
I am because
we are, and we are
yeah.
because I am, and the concept is that there is no separation between the I and the we.
Yes.
So if I love you, I love myself.
Right.
And if I love myself, I love you. So when you do things for yourself, you are doing things for the collective. You are part of the collective.
Yeah.
And those boundaries are not cutting people off or setting limits on people, it's to preserve us as a whole.
I need this. Thank you.
That's why they tell you to surround yourself with like company. Like if you want to, if you don't know how to do something, then you
Somebody
go
else
among the people who know how to do it, and you kind of absorb those kind of things. And that's what's important. In our culture, that was important. The sisters always had a group. The sisters always went off by themselves and did some sister work. So it's really important that we do that.
This isolation is like new with the technology.
Yeah, it is. It's really new, this isolation. I mean, even in like, when I was growing up, your neighborhood was like it was a community. Now, I don't hardly see nobody. I've been on my block for 19 years. I'm telling you, and some of those people I do not know. And I know they've been there that long too. But I don't know them. I don't ever hardly see anybody outside. I don't see anybody, especially down the other end of the block. I don't see those people. If I'm walking, I don't see anybody. People aren't out like they used to.
They on their phone. This was so beautiful. I want to make sure we're good on time. And I want to thank y'all for taking this space and offering y'all experience to each other. This is amazing. So I'm just going to ask y'all to mentally reflect on these prompts, which asks, where in my life am I being invited to lead myself more intentionally? And what practice would strengthen my internal governance this season? So as y'all think about that,
Can you say that again? Where am I like?
where in my life am I being invited to lead myself more intentionally? And then to follow up, what practice would strengthen my internal governance in this season?
Can you put those in the chat?
Yep. Yes, it is. When I'm ready. Oh, wait. I also want to invite y'all again to scan the QR code so you can stay updated with everything I have going on. And once you finish that little survey, my Instagram is also at the end of that. And I can call it out.
Okay.